So, UK on the beat, check. I'm in Toronto where you wanna get the city love. I'm from Toronto where you wanna get the city love. I'm in Toronto like we wanna get the city love. My city love me back for my city love. I'm in Toronto where you wanna get the city
Welcome to episode 1569 of Toronto Mic'd, proudly brought to you by Great Lakes Brewery, a fiercely independent craft brewery who believes in supporting communities, good times, and brewing amazing beer. Order online for free local home delivery in the GTA. Palma Pasta. Enjoy the taste of fresh, homemade Italian pasta and entrees from Palma Pasta in Mississauga and Oakville. The Advantaged Investor Podcast from Raymond James Canada. Learn how to plan, invest, and live smarter. Season 7 of Yes We Are Open, an award-winning podcast from Moneris, hosted by FOTM Al Grego. RecycleMyElectronics.ca. Committing to our planet's future means properly recycling our electronics of the past. And Ridley Funeral Home, pillars of the community since 1921. Today, making his Toronto Mic debut is Sean Jones. Welcome, Sean.
Thank you for having me, Toronto Mike.
Well, what a pleasure.
Toronto?
No, Toronto's my first name. Okay, my surname is Mike, so you can call me by my title, Toronto Mike. I love it.
All right, love it. Toronto Mike.
Are you Toronto Sean? Where are you from?
I'm living in Hamilton now, but I spent most of my formative years in Mississauga, actually. So
That's not Toronto. But that's
not
close.
Toronto.
Like I can bike to Mississauga. But how are you enjoying the Hammer? I know a lot of good people living in the Hammer these days.
I love the Hammer. Like, honestly, I kid you not. We were in Burlington, me and my honey, and of course, 12 years ago, we were looking for a place, couldn't afford anything further east, and so went to Hamilton, found a nice little spot, and it's just been absolutely amazing.
Okay, because I was just chatting with Ralph Benmergui, who tells me Hamilton is now Toronto's Brooklyn. Do you agree or disagree?
Yeah, kinda. You know what? Yeah, it's really turning into something. I mean, it was something before, but I mean, in the 12 years I've been there, it's just been so incredible to see the downtown transformations, the new restaurants that are coming in, the new life.
You're selling me on the Hammer. I'm going to talk to my real estate agent, Mike Majeski, and see if I can get myself into Hamilton.
I'm telling you, I think the place next to me actually is about to be sold. So, hey, there we go.
Well, listen, I got to talk to the honorary mayor of Hamilton, Tom Wilson from Junk House. Do you ever bump into him at coffee shops or whatever? Is he just hanging around there?
I don't bump into him, but I believe, if I'm correct, I actually did some work with Mr. Wilson there years and years ago when I was signed to another record label.
Well, listen, so we're going back. Now, I don't know. If I hit uncomfortable ground, you just let me know, but we're going to have a chat, okay?
Okay.
Because I told my wife that Sean Jones she's actually 2 floors up, but she's working remotely today.
Right.
And I told her, I said, listen, I got Sean Jones coming over. And she started playing this song and told me how much she loved this song. So I'm going to go back and then we're going to get to, solo material. And then we're going to talk about what's new with Sean Jones. But we only have an hour. It's going to be all killer, no filler. Let's begin with this jam.
Oh, man.
So my wife.
Say whoa, whoa, whoa.
Da, da, da.
Check it out, y'all. Say whoa, whoa,
Simmer.
boy. Check it out. Say whoa, whoa, boy.
Yeah.
Say whoa, whoa,
Here we go.
boy. You will never find another lover like mine. You will never find another lover like mine. You will never find another love to make you come and understand. You'll never find another lover like mine. You will never find another lover like mine. You will never find another lover like mine. You will never find another love to make you come and understand. You'll never find another lover like mine. I was at 233rd and White Plains. Me and my boy, we was riding.
Wow. Okay, so let's just go back, if you don't mind. Can we talk a little In Essence off the top?
Absolutely.
Okay, so maybe if you wouldn't mind. I'm digging this, by the way. So it wasn't really my jam. I was like a grunge rock guy, but I like hip hop. But I missed In Essence. My wife had to educate me, and I missed a lot, and we'll cover a bit of it now. But can you give me the In Essence origin story?
Ooh, okay.
For the record, okay? This is important, Sean.
For the record, okay. So I was at a school called Clarkson Secondary in high school. There was a gentleman named Michael Pope who was at Father Gates Secondary.
Okay.
And then there was 3 other gentlemen who were at Xavier Secondary, all in Mississauga.
Right.
Now, I had just kind of gotten into a singing phase, and it wasn't because I loved singing. It was just simply because I found out I could get girls from it. And there's
That'll
a
do
story
it.
around that as well.
This is for the honeys.
It's for the honeys. And so somehow I met up with Michael, who had heard about me. We started singing together. The 3 other gentlemen had a 5-man group,
Okay.
but they had just broken up. But
Yeah.
3 of them stuck together, and they were looking for 2 other guys.
Yeah.
They knew Michael from playing basketball. Michael told them about me. We all met up in Michael's basement one night, and we started battling. So me and Michael would sing a song, those 3 would sing a song, and we just started like having fun. And that literally is how In Essence came together. One of the guys saw the name In Essence in a dream, and that's why we called ourselves In Essence.
Okay, now I can hear influences in this music, but
Mm-hmm.
can you just, who were your influences at that time? We're talking like, are we talking, what are we talking, 90s? Where are we at here?
Yeah. This is like late 90s. So we were the first R&B group literally in the world to actually be singing over hip hop beats. So we would take hip hop beats and we would actually like create songs, craft songs over top of them. And there was nobody else doing that. And so, but our influences before that were like New Edition, obviously like The Temptation, anything from Motown, but anything in that 90s R&B era, whether it was, Keith Sweat or who else was I can't even, Bobby Brown. Oh my gosh. You know what I mean? Like
course.
all of that stuff really influenced who we were and who we came to be.
Wow. Okay, so as I was digging in, I learned, this is a fun fact, and I'm going to ask you the question I ask all my guests who have a Juno, but In Essence wins a Juno 2004.
Yep.
Where is that Juno today, Sean?
It is in my my music studio office. Yeah, right on the
Good
piano.
for you. I sometimes ask that question and I find out it's in a box in some warehouse or in some attic, and my mom's got it in the bathroom or something like that. Okay, good for you, man. You're a Juno Award winner.
Yeah,
Good for you.
man. It's bittersweet to a certain extent because as you get older, and I've been in the industry for a while, you really do realize that the differences in Canada and the United States. When you win a Grammy in the United States,
Right.
you're bumping up your pay around, you know what I mean? Like considerably, you're pretty much set for
Right.
the next couple of years. In Canada, you win a Juno, and you're still asking people, "Hey, can I play on your stage?"
Well, the biggest reason to win a Juno is that one day you'll be on Toronto Mic'd in Toronto Mike's basement,
Exactly.
and he's going to drop it as a fun fact, okay? But so let's go back to the 2004 Juno Awards, okay?
Yes.
I apologize in advance for the potato quality of my audio, but you understand, my archaeologists were digging through the rubble trying to dig this up. So let's see if this rings a bell.
These 5 gentlemen from Toronto blend R&B, hip-hop, and tribal rhythms together to create
That's
one
Alanis
soulful
Morissette,
sound.
right?
Yep.
Here to perform Friend of Mine, please welcome In Essence.
Okay, I gotta put you down. Okay, is you want me to be? We used to be a friend of mine, Here we are alone, just you and me.
Wow.
Once again, you're suffering. I know your pain. Don't pretend, 'cause it's on me. I know that you do depend. And I can bring your pain to an end. I don't want your pain, gotta get away. I don't wanna stay, but you keep calling me on. Damn it, I'm in need. Someone help me, please. I gotta put you down. If you want me to be to be a friend of mine, to be a friend.
See, this is a little more where you're,
Sean,
we
straight up.
combined a
Okay.
little couple things there.
So let me ask you, I'm trying to understand this country of mine. I'm disappointed in this country of mine. So you win a Juno, you sound great, okay? I mean, my wife was also talking about And I don't know, is it IE or is it IEI?
IE. Yeah.
Two IEs in there, right? Okay, let's not screw that up, which I pulled as well. But in your honest opinion, why didn't In Essence become a bigger deal?
Ooh,
It's a loaded question,
that's
right? Do we eat our
loaded-
young in this country? What is it about this country not embracing this great blend of R&B and hip hop?
Yeah, it's I don't know why, but it continues to this day. For whatever reason, they just continue to say it doesn't work here. R&B, soul R&B just doesn't work here. I mean, and this is as far back as when I was going and further back because other musicians that I've spoken to said the exact same thing. And I think it's really more of they don't know what to do. And so they say the easiest thing to say when you don't know what to do is that it just won't work, right? They never brought in the right people. There was more than enough talent. I can tell you that we played Drake's big all-star thing that he did during Caravana. History.
Absolutely.
It was phenomenal. And I was up on the balcony after we performed, and I'm listening to like Chaclair and Socrates and Cardinal. And these songs are bumping so hard that they could go today. Like, I really believe that they could. And it's such a disappointment from the industry here that we didn't make these people bigger, including ourselves, in essence. Like, we should have been worldwide, 100%. And there was just no support here, no infrastructure ever built.
But did you ever consider just leaving this damn country? Like, heading to LA?
Oh, we tried.
All right, so I'm brewing in the background here. Because I was highly educated by my wife last night. I'm now a big fan of yours, Sean.
Hey.
The moment for tonight, about to call the crew, got to figure out what we gonna do.
I haven't listened to this in so long.
So you don't break this out in your solo shows?
I don't even have a copy of this record.
Well, you know, her first thing is, why can't I spin this record on Spotify?
Exactly.
All right, I have some obvious mop-up questions for you, Sean, which is, why does In Essence break up?
Ooh, well, you know what? It's 5 young guys growing up into adulthood, and we all have egos. And just over time, things started to build up. But what really was the kicker and the catalyst to it was we had been with BMG, and they merged with Sony. And we had a second record to put out, and we really needed to put it out because people were tired of listening to that, right? And so we wanted to continue to make money, and they were like, yeah, we're going to put it out. And it was a phenomenal second album. And they kept on like delaying. And finally we said, listen, if you're not going to put us out, then please drop us. You know what I mean? And let us go.
Become a free agent.
Yeah, like we got the music, like it's all good. So one day they finally said, yeah, we're going to drop you. But guess what? We're going to keep your music because we own it. Oh my
God.
And so we were left 5 guys, no label and no music all of a sudden. And it started a whole conversation amongst us. We weren't sure what we wanted to do. Everybody had kind of a different idea. And that's really kind of what started the infighting, we getting new management, this and that. And it just kind of like exploded from there pretty much.
You're not the first talented musician to sit in my basement and talk about how these record labels can really screw over an artist.
Yeah, it was a thing. I will say though that Lisa Zabitnu, who was president, of BMG Sony at the time. She really had our back and was trying to do everything she could to, you know what I mean, move us along. And really, I can honestly say that, you know, the reason why we even performed on the Junos, because there had never really been an R&B soul act that had performed on the Junos, I don't think, on that particular night. Like on the televised night,
Right.
before us, it was, like it was always on the Saturday night.
Now I'm thinking like to call you out, but I can't think of an.
I mean, there might have been one, maybe two, but it was just like it was not happening, and she made sure that happened, and so that really helped put us on.
Although I heard that song, I played it in its entirety. They didn't give you a lot of time on the Junos.
No,
like,
they
what did they
did
say? You got to
not.
be 90 seconds to this thing.
Oh, we had to cut it short, but we made it work. We on that tiny little stage too. If you see us,
Yes.
there's 5 guys on this tiny little round stage, and we
Right.
killed it. We did.
Well, they don't say that to like Our Lady Peace. Okay, Our Lady Peace gets 4.5 minutes.
No, they don't. They never say anything like that to those kind of acts for sure.
But do you think there's any racism at play?
Yes.
Okay, because I feel like we're dancing around this.
Yeah,
but,
no, there 100% is, and whether people want to admit it or not, they definitely don't. It's been rampant for decades, and like I said, here it's just easier for them to say, yeah, it doesn't work, or to blame the artists themselves. You know, there's so many amazing artists, and I've literally been in rooms where they're just like, oh, she's a diva and and she doesn't know what she needs, and we knew this, and it's just like, nah, you actually had no idea. You're the A&R person. It is your job to find the right material to make this person a star, put all the pieces together. Don't blame the artist because they're being creative and they're an artist. That's
Right.
what we're supposed to do. You know what I mean? Lady Gaga, like how many different artists? Lady Gaga was not a pop act when she first hit, you know, the record labels. They were like, no, I think this is where we need to go. And they crafted and molded. And then she's very creative, so she took it the rest of the way. You know, Clive Davis has tons of stories about whether it's Aretha Franklin, Mariah Carey, whoever it is that came in and we're like, this is the song I want to sing. And he's like, okay, well, you can try it your way, but promise me we're going to do this
Right.
song afterwards. And that ends up being the tune
Right.
that Whitney Houston, like all of these people. So don't blame the artist for being an artist. Blame the label and the people who are working for the label for not doing their damn jobs. And that is what has been going on for years.
Well said. Well said. But do you find like a rock band, everything the same, except a bunch of white guys in a rock band, they don't have the same struggles that you have in essence.
No, they don't, because there's people in the label that actually understand rock music. They
That's a great
actually
point.
understand that particular
Because they
lane.
grew up with Trooper.
Absolutely. They understand exactly what needs to happen. They understand the clubs that they need to play in. They understand the routing across Canada. There is no clubs for an R&B soul act to play in that you can go across Canada and do that. There just isn't, because it's never been. The radio stations aren't. There's one radio station, you know, maybe 2 or 3 across Canada that play actual R&B hip hop all day, every day.
Can you name them?
No, I can't. I cannot.
I feel like I'm going to shout out Farley Flex. I can see my Maestro Fresh was,
Absolutely. Farley
but
was, yeah.
the state, like we had a station, as you know,
Yes.
and today it's playing country music.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we still have G98.7, I
But
suppose.
terrible signal.
Yeah, well, this is what happens, right? So we've got no way to support this music. There's no infrastructure. So of course it's going to, they say, fail. However, Drake does very well. The Weeknd does very well. Justin Bieber, who is, maybe he's pop, but he definitely leans on that R&B side, does very well here. Bruno Mars, any act that comes through Canada can fill up the Air Canada Centre or History or all these other places, but yet it doesn't work in this country. Tell me how that makes any sort of sense, especially since the guys that I mentioned are literally the top 5 people in entertainment, in music
Right.
right now. Explain that to me. It doesn't make any sense, man. It's all just a cop out. It's an excuse. I could go on for days and vent about it.
We're off
but
to a roaring start. Look, we're doing great because obviously there's lots of solo material we're going to cover, and I'm going to tell you how we're connected. And we got new material from Sean Jones, and I got questions about Casa Loma to put a bow on the In Essence segment here.
Mhm.
Okay, so you guys reunited for that Drake showcase there at the History.
Yep.
And what was the name of it again? Roots
Oh.
of the Sixth, or I don't know.
I don't even
just-
know.
okay,
I thought
bad
it
name.
was like All Star something. I can't remember.
I
what
was
the
at
heck it's called.
Nate. I think it was 2015. I went to Nathan Phillips Square, and there was this Roots of the Sixth show I was going to because I am just in love with Michie Me.
Oh, yes.
Okay, she knows it because she's been over several times. Okay, I am in love with Michie Me. I named my first daughter Michelle.
Oh, wow.
Okay, and I call her Michie Me. Okay, that's where we're at. And of course, Maestro Fresh West was there,
Yeah.
and the Dream Warriors,
Mhm.
and these were all artists I loved in real time at the time. And were they all at this event at History for Drake?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Everybody was there. It was a love fest. Like backstage, it was like one of the greatest. It was really, I wasn't sure what to expect. And, I mean, even getting the group back together again, one of the guys like lives in Dubai. So
Well, that's where I'm going. Like, so you're all friendly, obviously.
No,
You're-
not really.
Okay.
I mean,
but did all the OG members collect for that History performance?
oh yeah. Yeah. We were.
So you can, at least you can be in the same room together.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. And it was you know what I mean? I mean, there was even talk of, maybe we should rekindle
Well,
this
that's
flame
where I'm going,
type
Sean. That's where I'm
thing.
going. Did you consider, when Bare Naked Ladies, Stephen Page left the band and then they
Yeah.
all got together for the Junos? I can't tell you how many people wrote me notes like, hey, do you think they're going to get back together or whatever? And I'm like, I know, I'm pretty sure just talking to the band members, that was a one-off, okay? They're
Mm-hmm.
not getting back. That was a one-off. Was this a one-off for In Essence?
Yes. Yeah. It's, just, there's some issues that just still have not been resolved. And, some
That's the
some
real
members just don't even really care about music and the
Right.
entertainment industry anymore, to be honest with you. So, yeah, I don't think that'll, unless there's a lot of money involved, which that will probably get us back together again, maybe for like a show. But I don't see us creating another record or anything like that. No.
All right, so let me know if you want to throw money at In Essence.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I'll reach out. I'll take my cut and I'll reach out to Sean Jones here. Okay, so now that's disappointing to hear, but it's not surprising. I mean, you're all adults now with your
Yeah.
own lives, and someo's in Dubai, for goodness sakes. That's quite a commute to come to.
Yeah,
You'd have to get
exactly.
paid a little money for that. Okay, so In Essence, just to put a bow on this, getting screwed over by the record label. Why can't my wife listen to the first album on Spotify?
I really
Like,
don't.
do you care? Don't you?
Yeah, I would love for that record to be on Spotify, but we don't. I don't think that we actually own that record, and so there's nothing. We're not supposed to be the ones that's putting it up. It's supposed to be, and they just
No, I know.
never dealt with that, and so
They don't
yeah.
think there's enough spins in it. Or
I
whatever.
don't know.
Okay.
They really just
But
need
that
to put
second
that on
album,
there.
so you had finished an album, you just needed Sony, BMG,
Yeah.
whatever, to do their
Yeah.
thing. And where, like, is that in some vault somewhere? Like, where are the masters for that second album?
Well, it never even got to the mastering point. Like
Okay.
it was mixed. I believe we had everything mixed, but I don't think we had got it mastered yet. That was the last little piece, and we were waiting to see. Okay, well, when is this coming out? And it just never.
Did you ever
happened.
rework any of those songs into
No.
Sean Jones solo material?
Oh
Like,
well.
come on. You must
Interesting.
have. Come on.
Interesting you say that, because there's actually one song. Actually, it was never recorded though. Like, we never recorded it. It was just an idea.
Okay.
And so I have actually taken that idea and now made it a full song. And next year, you'll hear that probably.
You're gonna come back and would you sing it
Absolutely.
live here? Like, I don't know. Would you sing live down here?
I would sing live down here for
Okay,
sure.
like, we're gonna do that next time, because this is like
Absolutely.
the 1 hour deep dive. You're getting your 101 here, but it's wild to me though that you could have an album and you were proud of that album, right? It was a
Yeah.
good album, right?
Oh yeah. No, it was yes. It was a fantastic album,
Yeah.
and it was stuff that we were mixing a lot of like we were mixing some folky type stuff. We were doing R&B. We were mashing up a little bit of rock in there. Like, it was going to be an album that was going to like really appeal to everybody and show the strengths and the creativity that we had. And the beats on there were incredible, and the music and the vocals, like, it was going to be a fantastic release, and it never got released.
That's lost media right there. But you're saying it was some of it was not even recorded. Like there is no cassette tape somewhere with this stuff on
Oh
it.
no, there's we've got CDs. Yeah.
Okay, well, get me a CD,
Yeah, well,
and
there-
I'll drop
there-
it in the feed, and the In Essence fans can come on. I bet you those damn bots that are screwing me over on Spotify, because I mean, those songs I played from In Essence, I'm hoping I'll get away with it. But like lately, I've been having a lot of trouble with Spotify because they'll detect, like if I play 15 seconds of something and fade it down, the bots, just starting in October 2024, they'll be like, nah, you don't have the rights to.
Oh,
And there
wow.
is no, like, SoCan will sell you. It's funny, I just had this discussion with someone on my blog. That's right, I still have a blog, just like In Essence in 2004, okay? But I just had this chat. SoCan will sell you a license for podcasting, but Spotify and YouTube, it doesn't mean anything to them. Like, it doesn't stop them from removing your episodes. Like, so
Right.
basically, SoCan will take your money, which is maybe ethically makes you feel better that, you know, artists are getting money from you using it on a podcast. So I get that. But it doesn't stop your episode from being removed by Spotify because there is no, you know, unless you go directly to the artist and spend a fortune, a small fortune, there is no legal way to play copyrighted material on your podcast.
Yeah, Spotify, that's a whole other
Well,
nasty discussion. Ugh.
in your career, now we got you solo because In Essence breaks up in 2006.
Mm-hmm.
Have you made enough on Spotify to buy a Starbucks coffee yet?
Nah, I don't. Good question. I don't think so. Possibly.
Well, those coffees are expensive, Sean.
exactly.
so-
This is very true. This is very true.
That's why I French press it, okay? Pro tip, everybody. So what happens when In Essence breaks up? What happens for Sean Jones?
Sean Jones isn't sure exactly what he's going to do.
We're going
or
to talk
if-
about you in the third person. From now on.
Exactly. Sean Jones wasn't sure if In Essence was going to get back together again. But in the meantime, Sean Jones had been writing songs, like just getting very creative and enjoying that process. And so Sean Jones went and bought some Pro Tools gear,
Yeah.
a little thing, and a new computer and a keyboard, a Triton, and a guitar. And sat up in his room and started creating demos that he was like, okay, well, you know what? If the group doesn't get back together again, I'm just going to bide my time and I'm just going to get a publishing deal.
Right.
Because I was creating
Because you're a
all these.
songwriter.
I am. And so I was creating all of these tunes and trying to put demos together, and I never got it to actually work, the whole publishing thing. But then, just out of luck, a lady named Jennifer Hyland, who used to work at BMG, Sony, she started working with a company called Wide Awake Entertainment, and they were a record label that was funded by a very rich guy, and who just wanted to dabble in.
Those are the best guys.
Those are the best guys. He just wanted to dabble in music. You know what I mean? It was the time. It was that time. Like there was a point in time where a bunch of rich guys just were like, you know what? Music could make money, or it could be a great write-off for me. So I ended up meeting with these folks, and they signed me to a deal
Wow.
to create an album and other things, because they were actually working on a Marvin Gaye movie as well, and they were looking at me and being like, "Oh, well, do you do any acting as well? Because you might
Because
just."
you're a handsome mofo.
You,
I'm looking right at you, buddy.
thank you. And they were like,
That's
"Hey."
why I'm not letting my wife meet you.
They were like, yeah, you could, let's get you singing. Let's get a dialect coach in, and we're going to film some scenes and like try and sell this thing to like a
Wow.
major producer and get this
Yeah.
movie done.
Because that would be an interesting story, Marvin Gaye.
Absolutely. So that never ended up happening. And the record label actually ended up being run by someone who didn't know what they were doing. They're actually kind of, what do they call them? Charlatans?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Is this a snake oil salesman? What's going on here?
It's I don't even
A little
want
greasy?
I generally don't say her name too often. But let's just say at some point, she managed to get the very rich guy to take $18 million of his money and buy Death Row Records out of bankruptcy.
Wow.
So now Wide Awake owns Death Row. It's Wide Awake Death Row. Okay?
Oh my God.
You
I didn't
okay?
know where this story was going. I'm
Oh
with you.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So, but it gets better. It gets better.
Okay.
At some point, said rich guy realizes that there is actually no real plan to like make money back off of this Death Row Records thing. The numbers aren't panning out.
Right.
Lady who convinced rich guy to buy thing goes to, I think it was Connecticut or wherever, or Rhode Island, wherever the company was actually formed, and says to the judge, listen, yes, they bought Death Row Records, but for $18 million, but they sold it to me for $1. So I actually own it.
Oh my God.
And they're trying to steal it from me. And so I don't want this to happen. And the judge says, I don't know what's going on here. So everyone stop what you're doing, and literally shut down any sort of business
You
that
have
was
some
happening.
rotten luck. Honestly, you're snake bitten. Forget the snake oil salesman, okay? You're snake bitten. You might need that
Oh
oil.
my gosh. And so they shut down all operations with Death Row. I mean, Wide Awake was still functioning, but at least Death Row was making some money from the royalties because they were like syncing stuff, you know what I mean? With movies and TV shows. They were still making money off of that. But even that, like everything got shut down because the judge was like, until we can figure this out, done. In the meantime, I'm stuck in the middle of this.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, yo, I've got a record, I've got new music, like I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this, and there's nothing happening. And they ended up settling that whole situation. I'm still not sure exactly who got what.
And we're not naming Lady.
No, we're not
And we're
going to
not
name
naming
Lady.
Rich Guy.
No,
You can't even name
no.
Rich Guy. Do I know Rich Guy?
I don't think you know Rich Guy. I just can't remember his name. It was Ron.
Okay.
And he was a really nice guy. Like,
But he had 18 million to throw.
Oh yeah,
around.
yeah, yeah. It was one of those, you know.
Because I want to hit him up to sponsor Toronto Mike's. So I need to know who he is.
It was one of those hedge fund type things, and it was, yeah. Like he was an extremely nice guy. He came to bat. He was at bat for me for like a bunch of different things.
He could own you for $18 million.
Oh
Did
man,
you tell him that?
listen, absolutely he could.
You wouldn't be in Hamilton today if that happened.
No, I definitely wouldn't be. So at some point, I had to make a decision because my contract with them was up, and they offered me, you know, they were like, oh, well, we'll keep on giving you a nice little advance if you just stay.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what, this isn't good for me. It just doesn't feel right. And I ended up leaving. So that was that.
Do you feel like, I'm just thinking about the timelines here. So if we were a little further along with tech and, self-production and everything, in essence, maybe produces that second album independently, maybe because that's 2004. I feel like if it was like 10 years later.
Oh yeah.
Like you were just sort of a little early, like you still needed the label maybe in 2004, but by 2010 maybe you don't need a label to get your music out there to your fans.
Well, you know what? You can get the music out there to your fans, but at the end of the day, if you're trying to be a Taylor Swift or a Bruno Mars or one of the, a Drake, you need the machine.
Yeah.
Like the machine is still important in that sense. But yeah, there's definitely
that's
ways.
just me curious. So what happens next? Wide Awake Entertainment. You put Wide Awake to sleep, okay? You say the sleep of the fishes, Wide Awake Entertainment. What's next for Sean Jones?
I end up meeting Lisa Zabitnu for lunch one day because I wanted to actually ask her about a food product that I was actually trying to like put together. I'm a man of many talents.
And you never played Marvin Gaye, right? Like I didn't miss that.
I never
biopic.
played Marvin Gaye. That never happened. No.
Did the movie ever get made?
The movie never got made. And there's plenty of Marvin Gaye projects that are out or trying to get made. But the problem is they can't license the music. Berry Gordy and Motown, like they're just not licensing any of his stuff before. I think what was he signed to, Capitol or something like that?
And
Anyways.
then they would want some kind of editorial privilege on the
well,
product.
I'm sure they're asking for all kinds of stuff and to make,
Big
they
piece of the
probably
back
have
end.
like I don't even know, but yeah, that's the reason why you haven't seen a Marvin Gaye biopic as of
See,
yet.
the business side of music ruins the art form for us fans.
Yes, it does.
You know, I'm as angry about that as I am about the fact I read this morning Doug Ford's getting his jackhammer to dig up some of the bike lanes I enjoy. So but that's another episode. I won't bog you down with that one. I'm going to have Amber Morley on to talk further about that one, our local city councilor here. Okay, so back to Sean Jones. Then I'm curious about Soul in the City.
Right.
because that's 2015.
That is,
And just to get, because you don't want to pump your, well, you can pump your tires, but I'm going to pump them for you. You're the first artist to secure a solo summer residency at Casa Loma.
Mm-hmm.
Casa Loma, the only castle I know of in the GTA here. Okay, so how does that come to be? And tell me a little bit about Soul in the City and the Righteous Echo and that what that meant here.
Okay. So yeah, I guess it's like.
And if I'm skipping steps, you can say Mike,
no. It's
I'm
like
just watching the clock.
It's like 2014, 2015. My manager speaks with Nick DiDonato, who runs that castle. They have a deal with the city. The city, I think, still owns the castle, but Nick runs it. And he had already had something called Symphony in the Gardens at the castle, which was, the Toronto Concert Orchestra would play on Tuesday nights in the gardens, and people would come and listen to that. And he was like, well, we should have a different night, like something else that's a little more peppy.
Right.
And so he approached my manager and asked if I would like to do this. And I was like, oh, sounds like an interesting thing, get some guest artists, blah, blah, blah. And so, yeah, that's how that came to be. I had been working with a bunch of musicians, so I think it was a 7-piece band at that point that we had. It was horns and a rhythm section and a background singer, and we put together this show, and we invited 200 of our closest friends, right, for free to come and see the first show.
Okay.
And it was just supposed to be 4 shows because Nick was like, let's just do a trial thing. We'll do 4, and we started in the summer on Monday nights, and the first show was beautiful. Everybody loved it. And then all of a sudden 4 shows turned into 8 shows. So then we did 8 shows that summer. The next summer, of course, we came back, and all of a sudden it wasn't 200 people there anymore. Now there was like 500, 600 people paying to come and see Soul
This is a
and
huge
Sean
success, Soul in the City.
Absolutely. And by the time we stopped, because I didn't do it this year, by the time we stopped, it was like 1,000 people that were showing up on a Monday or Tuesday night to see Sean Jones and the Righteous Echo and the special guests that I would have. And that was also extremely important to me, to give other artists like a platform. The crowd that was coming out probably wouldn't have seen these people or heard some of these people that came to play. But they did. And
you want to shout out some of those people?
Oh my gosh, who was it? I mean, we had Story and
Burton Cummings.
Burton Cummings I interviewed in Winnipeg.
Of course.
Moose Jaw.
Shout out to Humble Howard Glassmans from Moose Jaw. I produced their podcast. Okay.
I interviewed Burton Cummings in Moose Jaw. It was minus 46 on that day. But I'm not saying it was cold or anything. I'm just saying it was minus 46.
I don't even know what that feels like.
Exactly. Story, actually, she's the first one that comes to mind because she is actually on The Voice UK right now as a finalist working with Will.i.am. So, I mean, from humble beginnings at Soul in the City to now all of a sudden about to be crush it as a mega superstar. I'm so happy to see that. Oh my gosh, there's so many.
Well, maybe I'll take you a different
Davis.
direction. Claire Davis. Okay. The other direction I take this in is you never received a cease and desist from Michael Williams from Much Music saying, hey, Soul in the City is my thing.
No, I didn't receive a cease and desist legally, but I did receive a message from Michael, absolutely, and some of Michael's friends.
He texted me yesterday, Michael Williams. He said, I want you to tell this son of a gun that Soul in the City is mine.
Yeah, and
I think I'm joking. I'm actually just keep talking, but I'm not actually. I'm going to just show you. Let's see here. Here, this is all happening real time. There, I'm pointing to it there. What name do you see above the name Mark? You see there? Michael Williams. That's not a lie. Michael does text me often. Okay.
So the funny thing about that entire situation is that it wasn't anything to do with like Michael Williams and the Soul in the City show, which was absolutely phenomenal and so, groundbreaking at the time. Okay, it had nothing to do with that. We were literally looking for a name for the show, and it was like,
It's a great
oh,
name.
we're doing soul, and we're doing it in the city. Okay, let's call it Soul in the City. It was never we were never trying to take it as a TV show, nothing like that.
Right.
And to be completely 100% honest, the crowd that came was more of a white affluent crowd that probably had never even watched Soul in the City when it was on
because
TV.
they were watching the Pepsi Power Hour, and you know it, right?
They were watching anything but that. And so, to try and make it sound like we were trying to like piggyback off of that success and bring it, the people there probably had never watched
Right.
Soul in the City.
Well, let me
That's the thing.
channel my inner Lorne Honickman for a moment and tell you that Michael Williams doesn't own that anyways. Bell Media owns
Yes,
it. And
I
if you didn't hear
know.
from Bell Media, and, they probably forgot that they own Much Music, okay? So it's probably like a pimple on an elephant's back at that point. But I want to shout out WestJet. Because
Yes.
WestJet stepped up, right? And they were helping to fund some of this, right?
Well, yes, absolutely. They were definitely a wonderful sponsor throughout the years. In fact, even when I was recording my record, something after midnight or whatever the heck it's called, shows how much
You don't even know the name of your own song.
of my own records.
I know, you're like, Mike, why you play music over my...
This was called the WestJet boarding sessions. Yes.
So this is one of my favorite songs of all time by the band, and I heard your cover and I loved it. So a little bit
Awesome.
of The Weight.
Rode into Nazareth, walking about 10:30. Just need a place where I can lay my head. I said, hey, mister, can you tell me where a man might find a bed? He just grinned, shook his head, no was all he said. Take a load off Andy, take a load for free. Woo! Take a load off Andy. And put your load right on me.
I don't even want to fade it down. It's really great, and it gets better. So this, of course, is this, and I know I was listening to your cover of These Eyes by the Guess Who, and Angel by Sarah McLachlan. So
Yep.
that's all part of the WestJet boarding session.
Which you can still hear on the plane to this day. Yes. And you can see the interviews that I did with
Burden Cummings.
with Burton Cummings and Sarah McLachlan and Buffy St. Marie and Florence K.
Yeah, you're
from
not
Montreal.
getting that Buffy St. Marie interview again. She's not talking anymore.
Oh, really?
You got in, oh, she's done talking. No,
Oh,
you
man.
you'll never. I will say you'll never hear an objective. Maybe with you, she'd be like, okay, here are the questions you're asking me. You're not asking me anything else. But you're
Right.
not gonna like she's not coming on Toronto Mike. Let's put it that way.
Too
But
bad,
you
man.
got to chat with her.
I did. She's such a lovely person, and the stories that she was telling me and the people that she's met, I'm just like, it blew my mind. Like we were driving back from the interview, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like this is unbelievable. Like Muhammad Ali, and like it's just unbelievable. People.
Oh, it's unbelievable, right? That's all I'm going to say on that subject. Okay, so I mentioned we're kind of connected somehow because I want to get to the new music, and then I'm checking over my shoulder at the time here. We're going to make this an all-killer, no-filler 1 hour, but maybe while the wait's in the background, I'm going to give you a few gifts for making the trek here, Sean. It's really, honestly, we're not done yet, don't get me wrong, but I've loved the chat already, so unless you really screw it up in the back end, okay, you're doing great here. Okay, so I have in my freezer right now a lasagna from Palma Pasta. You can take that back to the Hammer with you. Palma Pasta
Oh my
lasagna. You're going to
gosh.
love it.
Bro, thank you. I
Yeah,
love.
they don't give you that on the CBC.
You know what's funny is that my daughter actually was just asking for lasagna. She's like, Dad, when
Okay.
are we gonna have lasagna again? I said,
We got her sorted
I
now.
said, listen, that takes a while
Taking it
to
home
make.
with you. It's gonna have a lot of leftovers too. She can,
Woohoo!
okay. How many kids you got?
Oh, just one.
Oh, that's enough. Okay, you don't need don't get any ideas over here. Okay. That lasagna is at Palma Pasta. I just want to let everyone know, including you, Sean, because I'm hoping you can make it. But on November, I like this. Hold on.
Put your weight on. Put your weight on me. Put your weight
love
on me.
Okay. Move over, staple singers. Okay. Mavis, step aside. Sean's here. That was excellent. Okay. So on November 30th, 2024 at noon, that's a Saturday, all the FOTMs, the Friends of Toronto Mike, all the listenership are going to collect at Palma's Kitchen in Mississauga. Not that far a drive, okay? You, my friend, would be awesome to see you there. We'll put you on the mic to say hi. And just no pressure, but I'm just letting you know that's TMLX 17, the 17th Toronto Mike listener experience. November 30th at Palma's Kitchen.
Well, you know what?
What?
I might be able to make that,
Okay.
but only if all those people come over to my Christmas show that's going to be happening in Hamilton on November 30th.
Okay, what time is that?
That is at 8 p.m. So lots of time.
Double header.
Bam.
Okay.
We already
honestly,
figured this
and we'll-
out.
Okay, we figured it out.
Like, we're a great
and
team.
I'll remind people at the end of this where they can see you, of course. But I will tell you to sweeten the pot. Not only are you going to get fed by Palma Pasta at Palma's Kitchen on November 30th, but I will bring you fresh craft beer from Great Lakes Brewery.
Ooh,
I have beer for you to take back to the Hammer from
Bruh.
Great Lakes.
bro.
You didn't know you were getting beer.
I did
And
not
they
know.
hosted us, but not the brewery. There's two locations, okay? The brewery is great. That's in Southern Etobicoke. But we were at the Brew Pub, which is Jarvis and Queens Quay. We all collected there Monday night for TMLX 16, and it was fantastic. And I want to thank Great Lakes for the food and the drink. And it was unbelievable. And man, if you're going to go somewhere downtown and grab a beer and a bite, go to GLB Brew Pub at Jarvis and Queens Quay. So you're bringing home the beer.
Dude, like you probably didn't even realize this. It's my birthday today. Like this
I did
is
not
like,
know that.
This is like thank you. Like you could have just
You're
said,
here on
yeah,
your birthday.
I'm here on my birthday.
honored.
I traveled here
Oh my God.
for
I had
you.
no idea.
Toronto Mike.
I'm honored that you're here, and I'm about to blow your mind. And happy birthday to you. So, because it's your birthday, Monera sent over a wireless speaker. Your daughter will
Oh.
probably steal that from you, but it is a high quality wireless speaker from Moneris. But you got to promise me something, Sean.
Uh-huh.
You're going to listen to Yes, We Are Open, an award-winning podcast from Moneris. Season 7 episodes are dropping now. We mentioned Winnipeg earlier because you talked to Burton Cummings. Al Grego went to Winnipeg, and he spoke. I'll tell you about episode 3, which just dropped. He visited Nikhil Dutt, owner of Spice Circle. His family opened the restaurant in 2019, despite having no prior business experience. And we get his inspiring story thanks to Al Grego's visit to Winnipeg. So you got the speaker to listen to Yes, We Are Open from Moneris, and then you can listen to whatever the heck you want.
Also, done.
Done deal.
Done.
Okay.
Done.
And last but not least, a piece of advice, because I know you're in Hamilton. You probably have a closet or a drawer with old electronics, old devices, or old cables.
Mhm.
Go to recyclemyelectronics.ca. Put in your postal code. You'll find out a place near you. You can drop that off to be properly recycled so the chemicals do not end up in our landfill.
Oh,
And I'm seeing now the Music Hall in Hamilton, November 30th,
Mm-hmm.
Holiday Soul. But I just want to let people know in Belleville,
Mm-hmm.
you're at the Empire Theater
That's
on
right.
December 6th.
That's correct. Absolutely.
I might have to attend both. Okay.
Dude.
You want me to blow your mind for a moment before we get to the new material here?
Let's blow my mind.
Blow your mind.
Well, don't forget me when I'm gone.
Wow.
Just let my story linger on. Like a good old-fashioned song, like a ripple in a pond. Don't forget me when I'm gone. Don't let my memory just fade.
Here's the mind blow for you, and then I want to hear a little more about this song before I get to the new stuff. But I had the pleasure and honor of producing a very important podcast series from the Women's Brain Health Initiative.
Oh.
It happened in this basement, buddy, okay? The host was Naomi Parnas. Shout out to Naomi.
Yep.
This was spearheaded by Lynn Poslems
Yep.
at the Women's Brain Health Initiative. The intro was by Jeannie Becker, and the theme song for Mind Over Matter, which if you have a loved one or you yourself have Alzheimer's or dementia, women's brain disease, particularly if you're a woman, by the way, because this is an under-researched component of brain diseases. But I highly recommend Mind Over Matter. But this song I'm listening to right now was the opening and closing theme song. And you did this, and I always thought at some point I got to get Sean in the basement. Tell me about this song.
Yeah, man, this is a very interesting story. So years ago, this is years and years ago. I'm talking like, I don't know, like 2010, 2012 or something like that. I'm sitting in my room and I got my guitar and I'm strumming some things and I'm like, well, dun, 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 dun. Like literally that's what, and I'm like, well, don't forget me. Oh, that would be kind of cool. I get a call from my manager at the time and he's like, yo, like we've got this gig that's, they want you for, it's for the Alzheimer's Society. And I said, dude, that's crazy because I'm literally here writing a song and like the first words that came out of my mouth were, world don't forget me when I'm gone, per se. And I was just like, oh, you know what? This is cool. Like, I think I can turn this song into like a tribute type of thing.
Right.
And he's like, okay, cool. So I hang up the phone with him and I start writing the song from the perspective of someone that has Alzheimer's and dementia and is worried about the fact that they're losing their memories and they're worried that once those memories are gone, everybody else's memories of them are going to disappear as well.
Right.
And will they ever, please don't forget me when I'm gone. Not even just dead, but just like when all these memories are just gone, please don't forget who it is that I was. Right.
That's beautiful, man.
And so what gets crazier is that then I get a call from my mom. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, you know what? I got a new gig and I'm writing this song and it all works out. And she's like, you do know that your grandfather passed away from Alzheimer's, right? And I said, no, like he passed away when I was like 3 or something. I even remember like the ambulance coming and taking it, but I don't remember, like, I don't know anything like how he passed or why. And yeah, I found out literally on the same day I'm writing this song, I got this gig that my grandfather actually passed away. So it just became this like beautiful thing. And that's how that song came together.
And do you know how it became the theme song for Mind Over Matter from the Women's Brain Health Initiative?
Yes. And I'm dying right now because there is a woman and I cannot remember her name and it's not Lynn. Okay. This woman helps to fund actually the women's brain health. Okay. And it's just escaping me. And if I could pull out my phone and like,
no, I'm surprising you with these mind blows. You didn't expect to hear "Don't Forget Me When I'm Gone" today.
But she heard the song and she was just like, oh my God, like that's absolutely beautiful. I sang it at one of their events.
Sure.
And so that's where she was like, you know what? We're going to be doing this podcast and you got Jeannie Becker and the whole nine. And she's like, we want that to be like the theme song. And I was like, okay, let's do it. And we recorded it.
And it got introduced by Jeannie Becker every episode. And I'll say the great 5 that are involved in this, if you have a Mount Rushmore, these are the 5 people on the Mount Rushmore. Okay. You got Lynn Poslams, Naomi Parnas, Jeannie Becker, Toronto Mike, and Sean Jones. That is your Mount Rushmore. Everyone involved in Mind Over Matter. And it was so educational, so informative. And Naomi did a great job with the interviews. Great series. And I just want to say thank you for lending your music to it because it gave it that.
Joanne Corton. Joanne.
See, I'm glad. I knew if we vamped long enough, you'd come up with that. Okay.
She was absolutely instrumental. She is the reason why that song is recorded because it was not recorded before this.
And that I literally went into my email when I received the master, the WAV file, which was like a couple of terabytes or something. And that's what when I did my editing, that's what I weaved in. So, all right, you ready to get current?
Let's get current, baby.
Sean Jones. Yeah. I told her love was a game with cards I wasn't dealing. I said my heart was too cold to ever catch a feeling. Call me Picasso, I know the art of up and leaving, but she told me this was a journey, so don't stop believing. Why is our love so complicated? Break up, make up, drive myself crazy. 1 minute we're vexed, the next elated. If this is love, is it worth saving? But we push on through the fog and the haze. Are we really in love or just stuck in the maze? I guess some lessons are blessings and some lessons keep us stressing. Maybe this thing is a blessing, or will it break our hearts? Yeah. Been sitting here all alone and I'm just trying to figure it out.
Why my heart keeps coming back when you just fill me with doubt. Every time you leave, my heart aches. But when you're here with me, my heart starts to break. Yeah, yeah. Oh, you can't love what you can't hold. Never thought I would let her in. Now it's too late, maybe it's fate. This is somewhere I've never been. If it isn't love, why do I feel this way? Why do you stay honest? My mind is. And if it isn't love, why does it hurt so bad? Make me feel so sad. If it isn't love, if it isn't love. Oh.
Sean, this is amazing, buddy. This sounds amazing in my headphones right now. Who's featured on this song, If It Isn't Love? By the way, spell love L-U-V, okay, damn it?
You damn right, love. John Orpheus, man, who I just met, right before we recorded this tune. Joel Josephs was the producer, amazing producer, keyboardist, instrumentalist, and he actually put us together. And yeah, he's so good. Like his verse on this is just unbelievable. So yeah, it was just the perfect match.
Are we really in love or just stuck in a maze? Okay, so where did this come from? This is like it sounds great, but where does the inspiration for this particular jam come from?
So I had a residency at El Macambo starting in October of last year. This is John.
Shout out to Michael Beckerly. Let's turn this up.
Chasing the scene we ain't never seen. If it ain't love, girl, just come clean. We come together, we fall apart. We fall apart, you haunt my heart. We begin again, it's hard to start. Stumbling, wondering what we are. I'm blessed to be next to she. Destiny, ain't love set me free. You're my sweetness, you're my ecstasy. I wanna be down till we rest in peace.
Man, so good. So I had a residency at the El Macambo, and I wanted to create something different than I had been doing at Soul in the City at Casa Loma. And so I decided to like mash up R&B and hip hop once again, like way back in the day. And
Right.
so I would take R&B songs and I would put them over top of hip hop beats. And I took If It Isn't Love by New Edition, and I put it over top of Tribe Called Quest. No, sorry. It wasn't even Tribe Called Quest. Vibrant Thing. Q-Tips. Q-Tip had a song called Vibrant Thing. And we mashed those two up, and people lost their minds at the show. Like, just lost their minds.
Yeah.
And so Joel was like, yo, we should do something like this, but like create a new song. And I was like, I don't really know. Maybe we should just keep it the cover. I don't really get it. And he went and produced this song and then like sent it to me. And I was like, he's like, yeah, just try and write something. And all of a sudden, yeah, the floodgates opened up, ended up writing the entire thing. That is the first song that I've ever rapped on, ever. And I was a little
You
bit.
wouldn't know it. You wouldn't know
I was
it.
a little bit like, should I be doing this? But at the end of the day, I'm having fun. I'm being creative. I'm not trying to be Drake or I'm not a rapper. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to bring back that 90s kind of sensibility where people, used to like rap and just it'd be about love and fun and about the flow more so than, you know what I mean? Like trying to be cool about absolutely everything. So
Okay, but one of the problems we have is places to play, right? We still have
Yeah.
this issue here. So
Yep.
the El Macambo, we can add that to the list of like R&B friendly
Yep.
venues
absolutely.
here. When are you going to be back at the Elmo? Do you know?
I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm doing these Christmas shows, and it'll probably be next year for sure. It's such an amazing venue, and shout out to Mike Shalou and Daniela.
Mike Shalou was
Weckerly.
here like 2 weeks ago. I got to shout him out because you see there's a bag here, that El Macambo since
See, I didn't get one of those. See, you see what I mean? This is the problem. I'm gonna take a picture of that and I'm gonna be like, yeah.
You want one of those bags? I want a T-shirt. I know they sell them or whatever. I got to get an El Macambo since 1948.
Okay, well, we're both gonna hit him up for
But
some
I'm shouting out
swag.
Mike because he was on a show called Feminine Warriors, and it just so happens the Feminine Warriors are after you. Once you say goodbye and we take our picture by the Toronto Tree, Feminine Warriors are doing 3 episodes of their fine podcast, and
Nice.
they introduced me to Mike. And you mentioned Weckerly, who I have never met, but I will say his mother was a teacher at my high school.
Oh wow.
So that's how I'm connected to Weckerly. I don't know if that means anything in this world, but it's a small world story here. But you'll be back at the Elmo.
I will 100% be back at the Elmo. Love the Elmo.
So, like, where are we at now? You got that new song.
Mm-hmm.
Like, give us the. I know we spent like 55 minutes on In Essence, and now we have 2 minutes about what's going on right now.
No, it's all good.
But I'll remind people that Holiday Soul is at the Music Hall in Hamilton, November 30th. So everybody goes to Palma's Kitchen at noon
Mm-hmm.
for TMLX 17, and then you got
Yes.
plenty of time
Yep.
for the evening, the night show at the Music Hall in Hamilton.
That's right.
I'll make sure Ben Murgie's there. And December 6th, Holiday Soul is at the Empire Theater in Belleville. Like, is there new like, what else can we expect from Sean Jones?
I've got some more music that I have. Well, actually, I've recorded like 2 other songs that are still to come out. They were supposed to come out this year, but things got backed up.
Right.
But I have more ideas to record, like a bunch of stuff. And so, yeah, next year the floodgates are going to start to open, and I'm just going to start releasing music. And we're going to find another spot to do a residency at outside in the summertime. That's the most important thing.
Maybe I'll get you to play a TMLX event
Hey,
at the brewery in June.
You let me know, man. Let me know.
But we only pay in pasta and beer. I don't know if that's a deal breaker.
Well, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's do it. I need to
for you.
fill
You
my
get a
belly.
speaker from Inaris. I have one more thing for you.
Oh, more goodies.
Since it's your birthday, Ridley Funeral Home, pillars of this community since
I
1920.
thought you were going to give me a casket or something.
Well, you see how you play your cards here. It's your first appearance, but that is a measuring tape from Ridley Funeral Home.
Woo, okay.
You know what? I don't need to know what you measure with that thing, but I do have to know, and you can lie to me, because what would I know? But this is your birthday. How old are you now?
48.
48. You look great for 48. Like, I
Thank
thought I was
you.
talking to a guy 15 years younger than me.
No,
I only got a
man.
couple on you. Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay, don't look at this photo I take. You're going to see who's this is Sean with his dad. That's Sean with his dad. Okay, dude, I enjoyed this very much. Was this okay for you?
Of course. Yeah, man. Thank you so much for having me. I would love to come back. Wink, wink. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, you'll
Sean.
be back.
Toronto Sean. Yes.
You might be my new co-host. You kidding me?
Oh, damn. Mississauga Sean.
Well, that's
No.
a request from my wife. Can Sean Jones visit every week? So I have to make her happy. You know how that's like. But, dude, honestly, loved it very much. We'll take a photo by the tree. I'll get your lasagna out of the freezer. Everything else here, of course, is yours. Thank you, Great
Excellent.
Lakes. Thank you to Moneris. Thank you, Raymond James Canada. Thank you, Recycle My Electronics. And that, I got to go hard on that. That's a Stu Stone request, okay? And that brings us to the end of our 1,569th show.
Congrats.
69, that's a lucky number. You
That
know
is
that,
a
right?
lucky
Okay.
number.
Remember, I don't need to know what you measure with that thing, okay? You can follow me. Go to torontomike.com. Where would you send people for more about Sean Jones?
SeanJonesMusic.com or just Sean Jones Music on my socials. Instagram, hit me up there. But SeanJonesMusic.com. Yeah.
And I'll let people know that Sean's spelling is Sean. Because there's many ways to spell Sean.
It is, but only one Sean Connery. So just think of Sean Connery.
Oh,
you know?
now I'm going to speak in my Sean Connery brogue for the rest of my extra. Much love again to all who made this possible. Okay, see you tomorrow. We mentioned a couple of times Winnipeg, and we mentioned Burton Cummings. And returning to the program tomorrow is Robert Lawson, who is the official Randy Bachman fact checker, and he wrote a book about the Guess Who, but he's got a new book about little Steven Van Zandt from the E Street Band and Sopranos, and we're going to have a chat. I got some fact checking to do about Randy again. Sorry, Zweig, but I got to do it. But then we'll talk a little about little Steven, and it'll be a lot of fun. So Robert Lawson's here tomorrow. See you all then!